that we just pulled off. Like, I can't overstate that. And now we look at this team. We added Johnson, we added Briggs. Let's take a look for position changes here. So Cobbs, by far is best at quarterback. Carlton Johnson, by far best at quarterback. No real surprise. Manny Briggs, are you magically good at something else? No, you are not. John Harris. We got to check to see if these guys are magically good at something else, because obviously, like, we're not going to be carrying this many quarterbacks. Especially someone like Jamal Anthony, who's about to be in a lot of trouble. Running backs. Darius Edmonds. It's a decent wide receiver, but a better running back. You good at anything defensively? No. Damon Perry. Not a very good wideout. He's not a very good running back either. Adam Simpson, new recruit. Very promising running back out of Oshawa. Nick Evans. Not bad. Antonio Jackson. Also not bad. And Brian Morgan. Also not bad. So technically, I think I need another fullback, even though Merriman's sick. I think technically I need another fullback. I'm not really going to bother, though. You know? I guess I could move Antonio Jackson to fullback. But that was one of the things that said I was missing. But I don't really get why. I guess just the depth in the position, but whatever. Wide receiver, holy options. So John Parks is a decent running back, but he's best at wide receiver. Same there with Graham Barron. Goins is best at wideout. Thomas is best at wideout. Same for Parker. Same for Brandon Pace. David Lamb was our first recruit of this new class. Doesn't look like we're changing any of these wide receivers over to anything else. Some of them are definitely going to be cut. Tight end wise, Adrian White was a big pickup for us. 65er to fullback, he is best at tight end. James Spencer is best at tight end. Ryan Kraft, also at the best here. And Greg Johnson is just awful. He's basically a long snapper. Justin Thomas, again, for the offensive line, we'll do what we always do. Just move everybody to center. And then see who drops the least. Center has the highest value for O-linemen. Hopefully we don't have a shortage of options on the O-line. We might not have a great amount of depth, because we did lose some strong O-linemen here. Yeah, we might have to be spread a little bit thin here. So Johnson drops by 2 if we move him. Or Thomas does. Mays drops by 2 if we move him. Beck drops by 2. Bennett drops by 2. Hodges drops by 3. So Hodges is definitely staying at center. Witherspoon only drops by 1, moving to tackle, so we'll move him back to left tackle. Grigsby only drops by 1 at guard, so we'll move him to guard. Curtis drops by 1 at tackle, so we'll move him to tackle. And Manson drops by 1 in either position. So, we technically need a right guard. One of you 3, or one of you 4 can stay at center. Technically, we want Thomas to be a tackle, not a guard. Or he could stay at center as a very, very beastly center. Honestly, I think we might set up Justin Thomas at center. Having a beastly center sounds like a pretty good idea. So Mays, we're going to move over to right tackle. Beck will move over to right guard. Bennett, maybe left guard. So So Witherspoon left tackle, Grigsby and Bennett there. Beck there. So technically, another guard, another tackle. Either or. Doesn't really matter. We can leave them there. We technically have the depth. We technically have the depth. Can athletes be O-line? They're typically not. These guys for the most part. The funny thing is, I think I could technically run everybody like at center, but it would kind of fuck up the depth chart. It'd screw up the recruitment needs at least. So we are a little bit short on O-line depth, but for the most part, we're okay. We have 3 tackles, we have 3 guards, 3 centers. We should be okay. On the defensive side, Simmons can't play linebacker, so move him over to DT. He'll likely get moved back. Yeah, if these guys can't be a good linebacker, whatever. Again, let's just move everybody over to DT. Yeah, you're still best on the O-line here, or on the D-line. Marquis Stewart, Walter Sanders, and Jerron Williams. And then a DT. Alright, so really quickly as well, with the linebackers. Yeah, see, 'cause sometimes linebackers make for really good edge rushers. And that's kind of the issue. Sometimes you just gotta say, well, big enough body. A lot of these guys are 6'3". Do have some smaller DTs too. I feel like the defensive line / linebacker combo is where you kind of get into trouble with where you could put people. And no corners make for good linebackers, but some safeties make for good linebackers. So that's where it's tough. But like Brad Bowen is like a beastly defensive lineman. That is where it gets tough. Javon Young, gonna move you over there as well. We're gonna figure this out. Who is best in these spots? Let us figure this out. Yeah, linebacker, defensive line, that's where I always kind of have trouble deciding who should play where. Oops. We're going to get people into their best overall spot. I am running into some menu lag, though. Alright, let's sort this out. So, I mean, some of these guys could make for half-decent linebackers. He's definitely better at safety, though. Is there anybody here who's a better linebacker than they are safety? I think the answer is going to be no. So defensive line / linebacker. Robert Washington cannot play linebacker, but he is an ungodly defensive tackle. That's where he's going to be. Bowen is technically a better edge rusher than linebacker, so that gives us something to think about. Perez as well. Better option than at linebacker. I think the problem, right? Hold on. I think the problem for the most part, though, is that we're going to have to move the dudes that were at linebacker right back. So really quickly, let's go to defensive tackle. Who's the lowest guy? Henderson is definitely still a defensive lineman. Elbert can be either. Shit. Didn't want to have to do this. See, this is why I was worried. I'm like, we could be here for a while tonight if I set things up this way. But really quickly, Henderson, definitely D-line, right? Elbert can be either. It really doesn't matter. He can be D-line or linebacker. Doesn't matter. Chad Love, great name. He can be either. So we're going to see who can't play in one of the other positions and then figure it out from there. Javon Young is in that any category as well. Petaway. He's in that any category as well. At this point, I should just presume, unless I write someone down, that they're in this any category. All right, so Williams can't play linebacker. Good to know. Good to know. What about Beverly? Beverly can't play linebacker either. Stanford Alexander. He is in the any category here. David Williams. Absolutely in the any category. Elgin Hall. Defensive line. Not a horrible linebacker, but like clearly a better defensive lineman. Sanders, same thing. All right, we're starting to sort this out here, which is nice. Simmons, clearly a defensive lineman. Marquise Stewart, clearly a defensive lineman. Thompson stays on the D line. All right, we're starting to get a pretty good split here. Holman, not a bad linebacker, but better on the defensive line. Perez is in that any situation. We know Bowen's going to be in the any situation. And then Washington, keep coverage in mind. That's true. I mean, ideally we would do that, but hey, I mean, the thing is, I think they could develop into it and rather quickly develop into it. Could be wrong, and it could be a risk. So really quickly here, Bowen, let's move you over to linebacker, buddy. We're going to move Perez over to linebacker. We are going to move Williams to linebacker. Alexander. Petaway. Young. Chad Love, which is still a great name. And Albert gets moved over. All right, so from here, these are our defensive linemen then. Washington clearly stays. Holman doesn't drop, so we can put him on the right. Thompson drops, he stays at DT. Stewart only drops by 1, move him. Simmons doesn't drop, we can move him. Sanders barely drops, we can move him. Hall's actually better. Beverly's better. Williams can stay. Henderson can stay. So I think we're good. We actually have a decent amount of depth there on the edge. It's looking like Stewart and Holman are going to be the guys for us. A little, lacking some depth at defensive tackle though. And then linebacker-wise, Bowen drops by 1 in the middle. Perez is the same, so we'll move him to the middle. Williams drops by 1. Alexander actually improves. Petaway stays to the outside. Young can be either. Love can be either. Albert can be any as well. So we got 2 middle linebackers already. 2, 3, 4. So technically we'd have to move somebody over. And for the hell of it, let's have it be Albert. So Bowen's going to be on the left. David Williams will be on the right alongside Petaway. So linebacker core is set. And then at corner, we have a lot of players. Yes, we do. So again, someone like Johnson, not a bad linebacker, but clearly better at safety. I'm going to move everybody over to corner for the moment. It's the best place, I'd say, to set up. Carr is a fantastic linebacker. If we wanted to move him over there, we could. And Aaron Carter. Yeah, Carr could definitely get moved over. But we don't really have... I don't think we have a crazy need to move Carr over. Unless we have, like, a ridiculous safety that he's just not going to jump. Then he could play that right corner or that right linebacker spot, and the linebacker core would actually be sick. So maybe. Darrell Campbell is good at corner or safety. Panda Pablo dropping the 8 months. You love to see it. Logan Johnson clearly gets moved over to safety. Nick Baker clearly gets moved over to safety. Harwell can play multiple different spots. Perry can play multiple different spots. Carr. I think Carr is our starting strong safety is a good move. Parker can play multiple different spots. Beck, same thing. Maddox will move over to safety. Lewis, move over to safety. Antoine King should be at safety. That dude, oof, God, we have a lot of safeties, I noticed. We do have a lot of safeties and a real shortage on corners. Interesting. I think we do move Carr over to linebacker. 93 speed, he'd be a menace. Run a 4-3. Could technically put Gilbert Maddox into a playing role. There is a real shortage of corners there, but technically it could work out. Wonder where Butler. Yeah, we haven't even checked the athlete yet, so that's fair. So I could drop Johnson down to a 74. I think on the depth chart it would just move him there anyway. That's it. I just want to make sure people are in like the highest overall range that they can be. But like I'm pretty certain Maddox wouldn't end up being the starting safety, but he might be. And even if he is, it's not the worst thing in the world. Pablo, that I am. Very much looking forward to the new NCAA when it comes out in 3 years. All right, I think that's good. Kicker, Darius Smith. And then John Small. Let's take a look at the stats here. Let's actually just move John over to kicker really quickly. Let's look at the numbers. Kick power, yeah, Small's got to be the kicker. We'll move Smith over to punter. And then our two athletes, Butler and Sims. Butler cannot play quarterback. He's a 76 running back. Could play multiple offensive positions, but 76 running back. Yeah, I mean, you could have him as a running back, a fullback, a wide receiver. I think we got to have him as a running back, though. 76, right? Yeah, he'd replace Edmonds, who's a junior. All right. So we have our first answer. And that Butler is going to be our running back. And then Sean Sims, 80 overall running back as well, but a 78 wideout. He's also really good on the defensive line of all things. Dude, 6'4 wideout, though. He's got the height, right? Dude, this guy can play fucking anywhere. Jesus Christ. That's one of the most versatile athletes I've ever seen. Yeah, Butler as a 6'1 running back makes sense. We need a dominant wide receiver, and I think he would be it. Damn, we have a legitimate question here about Sims. I mean, so again, really good running back, but also a really good wideout. And then a really good defensive end. A pretty good linebacker and a pretty good safety. Fuck. So again, running back would be nice, but we do have Butler there. Wide receiver, there's a real need for a number one wideout. He'd get fed the ball a lot. There is a need for improvements on the defensive side of things. Linebacker-wise now, by moving Carr over, we're fine. And safety-wise, I think we're fine as well. It's wide receiver or defensive line, and I think we need to prioritize that our offense is going to be our strength. He's got 88 speed, 91 agility, 93 acceleration at 6'4". Sean Sims is going to be a wide receiver. And we have a legitimate number one wide receiver to go alongside Kenny Cobbs. That is it. I think the positions are set. There are going to have to be player cuts, of course. You know, some of those moves, do I stand by them? Maybe, maybe not. We're taking a risk in some ways, of course, by having certain people in certain spots for sure. But I think it's going to pay off. Training results. Cobbs is up to an 80. Oh my god. So Cobbs is up to an 85 as a sophomore. Harris is now a 71 as a senior. Alex Edwards, who is a redshirt freshman, is up to a 70. Jamal Anthony a 65. Darius Edmonds up to a 77. Merriman's now a 79 at fullback. Parks and Goins both up to 76. Barron a 75. Yeah, +4, +3 to Grigsby. +6 to Justin Thomas, the junior, now an 83. We're looking damn good. The defensive line improves. Washington's up to an 84 as a senior. Perez up to a 77 now as a senior. Campbell improves at corner. Logan Johnson and Baker both way up there now. John Small now a 73 kicker. I mean, I'm intrigued to see where we are in the preseason rankings. Very intrigued to see where we are. Because we could be just outstandingly far up there. We only have to cut 4 players as well. We only have to cut 4 players. And honestly, I think I'm looking at previously redshirted senior John Harris to make room for Edwards. Yeah, I think I'm looking at quarterbacks here. I think we cut John Harris, who was obviously not drafted or scouted by us. He's one of the guys to cut for sure. That makes rooms for Edwards, Johnson, Briggs to be at least on the roster. And you can argue that Anthony is worth cutting. The argument is break promises to Johnson and Briggs by redshirting them. But if we can carry him on the roster, why not? Honestly, senior running back Antonio Jackson, I think we're going to cut him as well since we can't redshirt him. Just an easy guy to cut to carry some other guys on the roster to avoid breaking promises. It did auto-sign a fullback for me named Matt Salas. So I do need 2 fullbacks on the roster. So I mean, we're going to have to carry that dude, I guess. Wide receiver, we have a senior here at the bottom, Luis Williams. No reason to not cut him. You can make the argument to cut Josh Jackson as well. And that way, yeah, we're going to cut Josh Jackson as well, and that way we can carry the freshman. There we go. I mean, our team's set. Now that's just the question of who do we redshirt? How many promises do we break? The answer will probably be not that many. I can't wait to see this team. I'm second guessing some of the primary positions I put down for players, but for the most part, you know, it's just the logic of getting players for the most part in their highest overall possible position. So, it is what it is, it be what it do, right? Make a bowl and they still place us in last. They might, but again, we had a top 3 recruitment class. I don't know about that. So the big question will be the initial scouting. Conference and bowl tie-ins, we're good on that. To the preseason we go. To the preseason we go. We have the schedule to sort out. We have the redshirt situation to sort out. The initial scouting, but where are we ranked in the preseason poll is what I want to know. Where are we ranked? We can't see it yet. Damn. I was hoping we could. So let's start. Oh boy, I didn't want to go to the house rules. Let's start at the recruitment board because I normally forget it. I was tempted to maybe say, hey, let's add in people, but oof, that would be a pain in the ass. So setting up the recruitment board here. Maybe that would be a fun thing to do one of these years, is just add in some custom players and see what happens, but, you know. Alright. The big question here. I mean, obviously, as you get a look, linebacker, DT, we actually don't need a ton. The big question here, first and foremost, what's the status on our pipeline states? So Massachusetts, Connecticut, Vermont, Rhode Island, New Jersey is listed as a pipeline state. I haven't really been using them. New Hampshire, Florida we might lose, Canada we might lose, Maine, Virginia. We got a lot of states that are technically under pipeline states for us. I think at this point, though, do we just target the top prospects that are out there and see if we can compete with the big boys? Or do we continue to focus on our pipeline? Because there are 3-star guys in Canada, but do we really want just 3-star guys out of Canada? You know? Connecticut has 3 stars, but we're looking above 3 stars at this point. I think we have to just go after the top players that we possibly can. So Marlon Hines, John Ryan, Ben Alford, Josh Clark, Steve Williams, Darren Taylor, Stephen Williams, Maurice Hawk, Dennis Cox, Taylor Hayes, Jamie Fordinal, Jermaine Edwards, James Davis, James Miller. You know, if we can lock some of these guys down, let's do it. Let's just go for the best of the best. We can move people around positionally. Mike Lester. None of these guys. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do because none of these guys are in the pipeline states. But the problem is the pipeline states haven't been great. At least the ones that we just checked. I mean, that pipeline bonus would be great, but like Connecticut didn't have anybody great for us. Maine only has 1 3-star. Massachusetts has a 5-star and Luke Watson. We can at least target him. New Hampshire has a 5-star and Ryan Barrett. We'll target him. New Jersey was technically a pipeline. Yeah, right? New Jersey was technically listed as a pipeline for us, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. Let me double check. Alright, so we have Florida and New Jersey. Let's check Florida and New Jersey in terms of states we really haven't been scouting from, along with the New England states and Canada. So Florida, obviously, like, it is packed in terms of talent. We'll focus on 4 stars or better, and there are a shitload of 4-star prospects in Florida. Holy fuck. We might have to optimize in terms of position, aside from just looking for the top dogs. We are getting up there in terms of names. Jesus. Let's see, there was Florida. New Hampshire had the 1 5-star. New Jersey has a crap load of people. I am going to have to prioritize. Alright, let me go back up to the top here. Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Colorado, Connecticut. So nobody from Connecticut that I really care about. At least not yet. Florida. To be honest, let's just keep it at 5 stars. I know I just spent the time adding a shitload of players. But the thing is, of course, you can open up pipelines in other states. So we'll target the top options in our pipeline states and then readjust from there. Georgia. Maine has nobody that we're interested in. Massachusetts has the 1 5-star. Hampshire's got the 1 5-star. New Jersey's got the 1 5-star and Taylor Hayes. Rhode Island, no 5 stars. Dunham, take it easy, buddy. We're not going to be on for much longer. Vermont with the 3 stars. Canada with the 3 stars. Yeah, I think we go big for the most part. I think we just go big and see what the hell happens, man. If we can compete for the top players, we got to try to compete for the top players. We just make sure that we have ones on the board from pipeline states that we have a decent shot at here. Which turns out a lot of the guys that we were looking at anyway are already, you know, would have been pinned if we just went for the top 30. All right, so we got a good amount of the top 5, or the 5 stars at the top of the board there, so we'll see what happens. Obviously, we're going to have to spend... Honestly, at that point, I'm cool with letting the AI do the initial scouting for those players. I just like making sure I got my right players on the board, but we can sim a week and let the AI handle the auto-scouting, because they kind of break it up and get a little bit of information about every player. So I'm cool with that. The red shirt process, oh boy. You know, it's do we burn a year of eligibility for Carlton Johnson and Manny Briggs? Probably not. I don't think I'm going to redshirt too many players. At least not for freshmen, because I need that big boost heading into the next recruitment class to be able to say that I didn't break a shitload of promises. So there aren't too many players where I'm afraid to burn a year of their eligibility. Burning a year of Johnson and Briggs doesn't matter to me, because we have Cobbs. These two aren't that important in the grand scheme of things. They were for the sake of the pipeline. Simpson and Morgan, same thing. I don't really care about that extra year of eligibility. Salas, we have to keep, so whatever. Sox, you're not wrong, but I think we have the ability to go in late for a lot of these players and make it out on the other side, you know? Sophomore, Graham Barron. Honestly, we can afford, though, to redshirt Parks and Barron, which is a risk to our receiving core. But that way we don't break any promises, and we keep them around a little bit longer. And then tight end-wise, we have Spencer, we have White, who we're not going to redshirt. We can redshirt Kraft, just to keep a tight end on the roster for a little bit of extra time. Grigsby, we could redshirt as a senior. Problem is, we don't have the O-line depth to be able to do it. Defensive line, again, don't really have the depth to be able to sit anybody. Same with the linebackers. Same with the corners. Terrell Lewis, we can redshirt. Roderick Bradley, we can redshirt. We'll keep Maddox. I think we're good in terms of the red shirts there. For the most part, we're not going to redshirt too many players. We don't want to break those promises now. I mean, I don't disagree that this very, very aggressive strategy could backfire. It absolutely could, right? But I think it's worth the risk. I might be proven wrong. But going after these 5 stars and missing out on a couple of extra 4 stars after the class that we just had, I don't think is that big of a deal. Alright, I can't open up any more games on the schedule here without adding a game elsewhere. Honestly, I don't hate it though. 2 bye weeks to start, 4 games, 2 bye weeks, and then a shitload of games to end the season. I'll probably adjust that actually. Although actually I don't hate the idea of like, you know, big start to the season, 2 weeks, big start, 2 weeks, and then just go. You could argue a game here to break up some of these. So yeah, for example, let's just add a game against Arizona for the second. And we'll take out this game here. There we go. So 2 weeks, 4 games, week off, 4 games, week off, 3 games. So we just got to sort out the schedule. I don't want FCS opponents. So week 3, when we kick things off, obviously we're going to play Boston College. And the guys being Dude Bowl. I just don't know if that's what we want our first game of the new season to be. But I also don't know if we could afford to play them any other week, so we might as well just accept it. We played there last year. We're playing home this time. Vanderbilt, Western Kentucky, Washington. I do have to check promises really quickly. So let's go back to redshirting players. I knew this would take forever to set up. God damn it. Okay, so for the freshmen, that's what we care about. So New Hampshire, I can't add. We do have to go to Virginia. Vermont, I can't add. We have to go to Virginia. We have to go to Illinois. Maine, I can't do anything about. We got to go to Alabama. We got to try to go to Colorado. Vermont I can't do. Connecticut is in the list no matter what, but still I'll write it down for the second. New Hampshire I can't do. Canada I can't do. Texas, oh boy. Well, I know it sucks. I know it's like, it's getting late. We gotta go to Utah. Rhode Island's good. Maine's good. Rhode Island's good. We gotta go to Louisiana. Oh boy, we have a shitload of states we gotta try to work into the schedule here. Hobo, indeed. That 93 speed was actually a safety, so I'm kind of making a risk by moving him to linebacker, but he really fills out a need. We got to try to go to Kansas, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Tennessee. Oh my god. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to all these states. Louisiana again, North Carolina, Hawaii for Ryan Butler. Jamal, okay, and then these red-shirted freshmen don't count. Okay, I have a shitload of states I gotta try to get onto the schedule here. A shitload. And I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. We might not actually be able to play BC this year. So first things first, Connecticut is off the list. Guaranteed. Can we get... number 1, Tennessee, off the list as well. Mid-Tennessee State. Make sure it's a road game, we're good. So we can play Mid-Tennessee State. So let's go. Boston College. We need Virginia, Illinois, Alabama, Colorado, Texas, Utah, Louisiana, Kansas, North Carolina, Hawaii. Kentucky wasn't on the list. West Virginia. Vanderbilt's in Nashville. So we're going to have to take that out. So one of these two games can change. So we could take on West Virginia over Virginia. I like that idea. Let's play West Virginia on the road. Vandy or Mid-Tennessee? I'd rather play Mid-Tennessee to give us a team we can kick the shit out of. So Vanderbilt will change out. We do need a North Carolina game, so Duke makes a lot of sense. Susan Yemi, take it easy. North Carolina makes sense to take on Duke. Again, Mid-Tennessee State is covered. Gonna have a lot of road games if I can set it up that way. San Diego State we don't need. Shit. There's no way. Louisiana Tech works. To get Louisiana off the board. I don't think we're going to be able to do this unless I just pack this full. Illinois, Alabama, Colorado, Texas, Utah, Kansas, and Hawaii. BYU, Utah. Bring them young. So we can hit BYU for Utah, unless I'm incredibly dumb and mistaking that. Let's see, next up. Louisville, Miami, North Texas. North Texas works for our Texas game. Take out the East. Goddamn. Let's see if we can pull this off, man. Illinois, Alabama, Colorado, Kansas, and Hawaii. There's North Carolina. Texas we already got. Louisiana we already got. Virginia Tech, Washington State, Western Michigan. Instead, we could add one of the Louisiana teams, or we could add North Carolina. Let's add Monroe to the schedule. Go back to the Louisiana Tech week. North Carolina State, Nebraska, Notre Dame, Penn State, Rutgers, San Diego State, TCU. Could add Utah State here. Wyoming I don't need. Let's add Utah State there. Take out BYU. Arizona, Arkansas. Again, we need Illinois, Alabama, Colorado, Kansas, and Hawaii. There's Hawaii. Perfect. So we need Illinois, Alabama, Colorado, and Kansas. So we'll take out this FCS East team. Arkansas State. There's Kansas. Perfect. We'll play the Jayhawks. Illinois, Alabama, Colorado. Hopefully it lets me play this many road games. I don't know if it will. Let's try to schedule a game for here. I mean, what other colleges do we have in Alabama aside from the big schools that I'm just going to get ripped apart by, you know? Illinois, Alabama, Colorado. There's Illinois. Perfect. We'll add Illinois to the schedule. Troy. Let's see if we can find him. Okay. So we're going to have to leave off Alabama and Colorado. That's just kind of how it played out. I'm all right with leaving out Alabama and Colorado. So we're hitting the promise to play a home game in those states for all but one team, or all but two players, basically. So whoever was from Alabama and Colorado, they're going to be mad, but we have, you know, we've hit the mark for everybody else. So that's going to help out the promises a lot. We have one home game this year, and it's the end of the season against UConn. We've got the recruitment board set up. We've got the red shirts, the depth chart. Let's see where we are ranked in the preseason, baby. Let's do it. And then we are calling this a goddamn stream. This is the latest stream we've had in a while. I had a feeling this was going to happen. I had a feeling. You can blame Terrio for this. Oh, should prioritize better players. So I was thinking of doing that, but from what I recall, here's the thing, right? We made 3 promises. Steve, thank you for the follow. We made 3 promises, right? Significant playing time, you won't get red-shirted, and a game in your home state. So as long as we don't break all 3 promises, we're going to be okay. And some of these guys will get significant playing time. I don't remember who we recruited that was from Alabama and Colorado. I just don't think I need to be that worried. Like, we know we're going to break promises. That was always the tactic. But it's to make sure you hit the mark on reaching enough promises that it's a wash at the worst, right? So we should be okay. Where are we going to be ranked heading into the 2014 season? Preseason polls. Champions in Georgia are at the top. Where are we ranked in the preseason poll? How high up there? We obviously, and number one, or secondly too, we'll get to see our new overall. So we're not in the top 50. Not in the top 85. Wow, Florida's 84th. 1 spot ahead of Monroe. Holy shit. Top 100? No. Holy shit, dude. We're still way down here. 119 out of 123. However, in 2 seasons, we have turned this from a D-rated team to a C-rated team, from a 60 overall to a 75. 15 overall points in 2 seasons. Hot dog. And you look at the competition around us, 65, 71. Well, Akron doesn't really fit. 63, 69, nice. 67, 69, 69, 69, 65. So, I mean, yeah, it's Tug Lamb without Tug, right? Still worse than Buffalo. Like, we do have a pretty tough schedule. But for the most part here, I think we're going to be okay. And I don't think we're going to be that lowly rated again. And if we auto-reorder the depth chart here, again, Cobbs can be our starting quarterback here. We'll just go with the highest rated dudes. It's fine by me. Running back wise, we want Butler in over Edmonds as our rookie. Or our freshman, I should say. Fullback wise, Butler's actually the second best fullback. Go figure. Sims going, Thomas Parker. That works. Spencer. We want White in over Spencer. And in worst case, we can have Merriman there as well. The big question, I think, this season is going to be, what do we run? What do we run in terms of a scheme? Were there any freshmen that I was really wanting? I mean, Bennett would be nice to get in there, but not too worried. Mays is playing. That's good. Having Tolman play over Stewart isn't the worst thing in the world. Or Holman, not Tolman. Alright, that works. Again, Bowen is an absolute beast. Carr's an absolute beast. Impact player Logan Johnson. We got to get Smith some reps as the punter, even if he's horrible. Sims is a crazy good return man, too. Alright, I think we're good. It is just now a question of looking at this team. And again, the recruitment plan will change based off of our coaching philosophy. We know we have a very fast quarterback, but now he has better offensive targets. It's a question. I mean, the multiple, the one back, but we do have a good fullback. Well, I'm going to sleep on this decision, but there are a lot of different playbooks we could technically run with. I do think, though, we're going to stick with that 4-3. I think that makes sense. We don't really have the linebackers. 3-5 doesn't make sense. 4-2-5, we got better linebackers than that. We're definitely sticking with the 4-3. To be honest, I do want the AI to be a little bit more aggressive in terms of blitzing. Blitz like 70% of the time. How often you want the defense to sub? If someone's tired, get them out. Next man up. So yeah, we are going to have to figure that out. And again, a quick look at certain player stats. Again, I'm still going to sleep on the decision there in terms of what we look to do. But you look at the roster here. And again, Cobb's the 87 speed. Like, he's fast as hell. Good break tackle. But we look at the arm. 83 throwing power, 98 accuracy. We don't want a situation for him where he has to throw deep. You know? So the ability to take off if he has to, but also short passes. So, I mean, he's not Patrick Mahomes, right? But, yeah, get him into an offensive playbook where he has the ability to roll out if he has to. But we know he's going to hit the target on those short throws. And again, running back-wise, it's Butler, not Edmonds. Edmonds is pretty fast. Butler doesn't have the speed. That is correct. Butler is pretty slow. Edmonds is much faster. But we need to get Butler that experience. Butler is a power back. So we have a quarterback that can scramble and hit short throws. We have Edmonds, or I should say Butler as a power back. We have a really good fullback. And then, I mean, some decent options at receiver, really, with Sims leading the way. Goins is fine, and then obviously like Derek Thomas is the next man up. And a good tight end in Spencer and Adrian White, who are more balanced in blocking. Run and shoot's a pretty good option. Honestly, the option defense might stay as well. I don't think it was horrible for us. But, like I said, we will sleep on that particular decision and come back tomorrow for the beginning of Season 3 after the third best recruitment class in the nation. It is going to be time for us to prove ourselves. Prove to the world just how good we are. Damn it. Especially as we are going to be road warriors this season. One home game. How's that for a challenge? Guys, it is incredibly late. I haven't streamed this late in a while, mainly because I don't want my girlfriend to kill me. But, hey, whatever. She'll kill me tomorrow. So if I don't die, I will see you then.